This is Tailgate Talk, presented by Tarpon Blue.
Let's take a ride. In this series, we're going to show you everything Texas and its surrounding southern states has to offer, right here from our very own tailgate.
We'll take you from life on the farm and the ranch to the big city lights. This is Tailgate Talk. Come along for the ride.
Hi everybody, welcome to Tailgate Talk. I'm Dean Wallace and I am here in cow country, Central Texas, close to Leesville, Texas, with Clint Martin at his family ranch. And he's going to tell you today about a new venture his family's got into that I think will be really good for our community and surrounding areas. So before we get into all that, Clint, why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of your family and the ranch?
Yeah, you bet. So we go back, I'm the sixth generation of ranching. We've been here since the latter 1850s to sometime around 1860. We really don't know for sure. We'd have to look at old deeds and whatnot. But,
wow.
Yeah, so we've been doing it, farming and ranching out here on this soil for, what is that, 160 years?
A long time.
Yeah. So
long time.
Yeah. So we know what we're doing, but we just kind of decided to change directions and do something different. So.
Wow. So I guess before you get into it, is how hard has this been to be somewhat innovative and change something that your family's been doing for 100 some odd years?
Yeah. It was a challenge, and it was one of those deals where I thought about it for a long time, and I had to kind of say, if we want to survive in this business, the ranching business, which, you can do it, but it's tough. You've got everything against you,
Right.
from droughts to inflation to, everything in between. So we just, I gave it some thought, and about 2 years ago, I said, it's time to make a transition.
Wow.
Yeah, farm to table. So
Farm to
Yes,
table.
sir.
So what exactly is that transition? Tell us a little bit about that.
So what it is instead of just taking your cattle to the auction, and getting what you hope you get the best money you can, it's basically just a farm to table. So they're born out here, we raise them up, we wean them, we go through a process where they go through the growth stages of development, and then they get to a certain point where their maturity and their weight is correct, and then they go to the processor.
Okay. And so how are you working with your customers, so to speak?
So we basically take deposits on our calves. So the further out people can schedule, the better. So if it's 6 months, even a year, we'll go ahead and get deposits out, so they can reserve their animal. And then from there, it just goes to the growth stage, and then we get to the point where it's time to take it in. And we take a cut sheet, so each customer can customize their cut sheet on a whole carcass, a half carcass, and we offer some sampler boxes as well.
I saw that.
Yeah, so we have a 30-pound sampler and a 50-pound sampler, and that's just for folks that don't want a whole or a half. They either don't have the freezer space, or they're just a small family. Maybe it's just a couple,
right.
And their kids are out of the house or whatever. And so, we customize the order. So if they want so much ground meat, they can get that much ground meat. If they want ribeyes, they want boneless ribeyes, they want bone-in ribeyes, they want T-bones, they want chuck steaks, they want flat irons. It's just all dependent on what they really want.
It's early, but I'm kind of getting hungry now.
And so it's pretty cool because you can basically fill your freezer up for say 6 months, a year, maybe even a year and a half, depending on how much beef you eat. Which we eat a lot, so
I bet. So how many? Obviously, you've got a limit. How many are you going to process a year, do you think?
Well, like this year, we want to do about 29. And then the rest will be done next year. We have 55 in this particular group here, and then we have 76 that we're going to do starting 24 and 25.
Okay.
So
So you've got it maxed out for a while.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and the maturity and the age has to be, like I said, matched up to where you don't slaughter when they're 600 pounds. You can, but you get more yield, more bang for your buck if you wait till they're live weight of 1,300 pounds. And you get that heavier carcass, and just this is more meat on it.
So what's the benefit as far as the meat goes from getting it from you versus getting it from
Well,
the store?
a lot of people say, that organic grass-fed is healthier. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a cardiologist. I can't tell you, what I can tell you is that what we have and what other people doing the same thing, likely have, is it's natural. It's basically, we know exactly what has been put in the animal. We do have to give them their shots as vaccines and whatnot to prevent deadly diseases that if you don't, you won't have anything to sell or eat. But they're not giving a regimen of antibiotics daily. There's no additives added to the meat. When it goes to the processor and it's vacuum sealed in those packages, it's fresh meat.
Oh, I think
yes,
that's important.
It's frozen because you can't.
Yeah.
300 pounds is where.
I think it tastes better, but that's
Yes,
that's
and
just
it
me.
tastes better, and a lot of people, it's a niche market, so a lot of people really want that natural beef. They want to know the source. They want to know that it came from this area. It was on this kind of grass. It was fed this kind of hay. It wasn't given all these shots and all this stuff. So
I think just knowing where it came from, right, is a big deal.
Right.
Because you go to the store, you don't know if it's even from this country.
It could be from China, or it could be from, but we
Right.
know that, like I said, we raise them here, they're born here, so we don't go buy calves, typically from, well, we haven't yet. I don't plan on ever doing it, but going to the auction and buying a bunch of calves and doing this with them. So they're from our cows that we've raised out here, and so we really know their history. And we can pass that along to the consumer with the mindset that we're comfortable saying it's organic, it's natural. If they want a grain finished calf, we do offer that as well.
That's awesome.
So we're not strictly grass. If someone says, "Hey, I want a grain finished calf," I don't like that grass. It's too tough, or whatever the mentality of it is. Then we'll grain finish it for them. So, and we do have a couple of those coming up in July.
So you've got some options.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So it's a really unique operation. I appreciate you letting us come out here and see it. Where, if I wanted to buy some beef from you, or somebody wants to get into this program, how do they find you?
So we have a website. It's Sedley's grassfedbeef.com. So you can go there. You can actually purchase there. There's a store online where you can go and order, and it'll send you a cut sheet. So once you put a deposit down, then it sends you a cut sheet so you can fill that out online, submit it, I get it, and then I'll check that cut sheet, make sure it works with the processor and whatnot. But there we're on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and my wife's kind of handling a little bit of that.
That's
I'm not,
right?
I mean, I'll do it, but anyway. But no, it's all operated by us, and so you're not sending a message to somebody else. It's coming to us directly.
And so then it's delivered to you, or do you come and pick it up?
Yeah. So the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we take care of all that. So we actually we'll help you with the cut sheet, get that filled out. We'll deliver the calf to the processor. We have that work done. We pick the meat up, and then there is a map on our website of a free delivery area, and it's basically encompasses like Corpus Christi, Victoria, the Houston metro, San Antonio, Austin, Hill Country, and then down south a little ways.
It's a big area.
It's a pretty big area that we will drive to your house. We'll unload the meat, and we'll even put it in the freezer for you.
Wow, that's awesome. So you can get it delivered, or you can do curbside right here at the
That's
ranch.
it. That's it. Or they can come pick it up here if they prefer to do that.
That's great.
And we will offer for people that want to come out and look at the animals and say, I want that calf or whatever, we'll do that.
So you can get the exact
you
cow
can come
you want.
pick your calf if there's
Wow.
a certain color you want, or they're all basically the same breed.
One tastes different than the other.
Yeah, but some people do. They want to say, well, I like that one, right? He looks juicy.
good.
Okay, well,
That's
we'll
good.
earmark it. Now, the only thing I'll say is it has to be, like I said, the right age of maturity. So
Right.
if they want their calf in, say, August, and it's not going to be ready till October, November, and then I can give them a selection.
That's customer service right there. All right. Well, thanks again. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you
Thank
next
you.
time on Tailgate Talk.
Thanks for tuning in today, and thank you to our guests for sharing their story.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you next time on Tailgate Talk.
We'll tell you things